Welcome back to Gains and Grind, where we don't just lift weights, we lift standards. Now every rep has a reason and every drip of sweat is part of the mission. Now let's chase progress, not perfection. Are you ready? Let's grind.
What up, everybody? Y'all know who it is. It's Tycoon. And today's workout, we starting it off with a quad workout called the leg press. Yeah, we gonna get it in. I got a max effort day ahead of me. So we starting off the first set, 10 reps at 320 pounds. Now, as you notice, I did set up my feet. There is two different positions when doing this leg press, or there is multiple actually, but there's two main ones that I know about. One, when you put it closer to the front like I have right now, that one focuses more on your quads. But if you put it your feet actually in the same spot but lower on that same platform, you would actually be working out the glutes more. So we're focusing on the quads. That's why I'm doing this. Now we're moving on to the next set, and this one's also 10 reps at 385 pounds. Now, again, as you can see, I did the little point just to show that when you're doing this, you want to have a slight point outwards with your toes. You don't want to have it like too much. I mean, unless you're going for a sumo with a wide leg stance, that's different. But even then, you don't have it like completely like slanted out. So I was just trying to show you guys an example of how you should have your feet slanted. Not too much and not too little. You feel me? You feel me? Now here's an overhead look, even better understanding, so I can show you what it means to put in that leg press work. There you go. That's the one I was talking about with the quads. And then that's where you be working out more on your glutes. But same machine, you know what I'm saying? Still the same weight. But y'all, it depends on what your focus is. Mine right now is just the quads, so we're gonna focus on the quads. I'm hitting these next two sets until I can't do it no more. We're gonna go 10 plus reps at 465 pounds on the last two. Now in this situation, I believe I did 13 in the first set and then 12 on the last, or the other way around. But either way, I did a little bit over, but I wasn't going too far. You know, I didn't want to burn out. This again is the beginning of my workout, and that looked tough. Again, make sure you always have your body set right, shoulders back always against the board. One thing people always told me to do when you're doing this is try your best to keep that gluteus to the seat, man. If you keep letting it roll up, it's actually not good for you. So just try to keep it back, and then just focus on your breathing and make sure you never lock your legs in this, because again, when you're doing heavy weight, that could end up with an injury. So y'all be careful out there. Focus on form and get at it. That's what you gotta do, baby. Get at it. We're about progress over here, not perfection. You did? Now we doing a little warm up with the deadlift. It's gonna lead into a superset of stuff, but let's focus on the very first part of it, the deadlift. As you can see, shoulder width apart, making sure I got my hands in the right spot, making sure that I bring the bar as close as I can to my leg without it being so close that when I pull it up, it scrapes my shin. You don't want that, but you definitely want it close. You want it close enough that when you pull it, you're not straining your back, and that's what matters to most people. I got told that by somebody recently, and ever since then, I've kept that in mind, and I swear my form's gotten a little bit better. I wouldn't say it's the best, but it's a lot better than what it was, for sure. And then I'm gonna, smack this first set. We're doing 8 reps at 125 pounds for the warm-up. And then we're moving on to 5 reps at 205 pounds. Let's go. As I superset over to this little barbell hip thrust, baby. Yeah, it works on the glutes, whatever. It's okay. You got to have all parts of your body strong. I don't care what nobody say. That's where you really achieve some good physique. So I'm working on everything, baby. You feel me? Yes, sir. And now we got to do this. 8 reps at 135 pounds. Yeah, now, as you can see from my setup, I have the 25s on the inside, and to keep switching between supersets, I kept them there. Just made it easier, so that when I went up to 205, I just threw my 45s on each side, and then I threw some 10s to make it 205. That's how you do it. Make sure you think ahead of time, plan out right, make your workout easier, a lot smoother for transition, and that way you can actually maximize your time while you're in the gym, baby. Yeah, because I wasn't. And when I first started doing this, man, I was taking so much time trying to set up everything and then change all the weights in and out and keep putting it, just because I wasn't thinking ahead like that. But man, now I'm saving time, baby. We're getting in and out. getting in and out of there, you feel me? But let's go ahead and focus on this. Now I'm moving on to the bigger sets, you know, the big weight, you feel me? I'm supposed to have did 5 reps at 205, but for the first set, for some reason, I followed through what I did for my warm-up and I went for 8. So guys, make sure you're paying attention to how many reps you're supposed to do before you hop in, because boy, them 8 almost ruined the rest of my set, boy. But that's okay, we pushing through, we ain't slowing down for none. And these are different angles just to show you of how your form should look. No matter how you view it, this is how clean it should be about. You feel me? There you go. Boom. Yeah. Yeah, it almost look like I know what I'm doing. And I appreciate the tips that people have been telling me. You know, in the end of the day, we're all here trying to do better for ourselves. Stop being a troll. Help somebody else. If you got information they don't know, you know, help them out. Now look at that. This is perfect view, so you know what you're supposed to be sort of achieving when you're dropping your knee down with the dumbbell lunge. Now, some people are really, really good at making sure they keep full control to the point that they will never touch their knee on the ground, which is very understandable. Some people do it just so that they know how far they've gone down, and some people don't want to do it because that leads to possible injury if you keep doing it. You know, you keep doing a bunch of heavy weight, you keep dropping down and hitting your knee on the floor. That's not good over time, guys. So, you know, do your best to try not to touch the ground too hard, or if you're touching it, you're just slightly touching it. You're not, you know, at all banging your knee every time you hit. Now, it looks like I sort of was doing that. Yep, there it was. But look, form, boom. Tap, touch the ground a little bit, boom, get myself back up. Thank God it's padded floor, baby. Now we're on the Prowler Sprint. Yeah, we finna go crazy. Not really, but 90 pounds, 30 feet. We figured out, or I asked somebody in the gym, you know, I was like, hey, how far do you think this is? They said like 15 feet. So 15 back and forth, that's my 30. So I did it back and forth. There we go. We got our 30 feet out the way. Booyah. If you can see that at the gym, do the same thing. You feel me? But I found out or realized that 90 pounds wasn't that heavy to me. So even though I supersetted it with the dumbbell lunges, you know, it was pretty good. It felt great. So I put some more weight on the Prowler eventually to make that 135. And now we're gonna move on to the seated machine calf press. Here we did 10 reps at 135 pounds. Yeah, focus on your form here. Make sure you got your toes in the right place and you're putting all the pressure on your calf. As you can see, every time I did that flex up, my calves did flex a little bit, so you know that I was putting in that work. Yes, sir. Now we got to keep it going though. We ain't done yet. Now we're getting close to the end of the workout, but we got some glute kickbacks. We're going to do 15 reps at 85 pounds. Now, y'all probably know a bunch of other workouts here to help with the glutes. If you do, by all means, send some through. I would definitely wouldn't mind looking through some of them. I have been finding some myself, but you know, there's people out here who know some that are very, or at least more effective. And if you know any, drop some in the comments. Help your boy out. In the end of the day, this is a journey. I'm trying to learn how to get better. And if anybody's got the information, hey, go ahead and send it through. I appreciate it. But, you know, I'm looking for effective workouts. In the end of the day, we want to do things where we're not wasting our time in the gym. And, you know, not everybody knows what workouts those are. Some people do. Well, please pass that knowledge here, boy. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah. Anyways, yo, I'm finna rock this 15 on the left side out real quick, making sure I put some focus on form, putting some slowness in it so I can get some tension build, you feel me? And now we gonna finish on the right side. Same thing, baby, 15 on this side too. Go crazy. And low key, man, I've been doing it wrong, yo, even in the video. You see where that bar is in the palm of my foot? Yeah, it's not supposed to be right there. It's supposed to be at the heel of my foot. But it's all good. This is a learning process for not just me, but whoever may be watching along and don't do this machine that often. But look, the machine showed me. Nobody showed me. The machine showed me. In the picture, it shows you got to push with your heel. So from now on, y'all do the same. If you get to a machine and you're not so sure about form, look at the dang machine. It might tell you a little something. You feel me? Hey, it doesn't hurt to use an old reference. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I learned a lot from that too. So, you know, if you don't know something, look it up. I didn't look it up. I assumed I was doing it right. Here we are, a few days or a few weeks in, maybe even months in, and I figured out I'm doing it right. So, hey, Go ahead, do your little research. Make sure you get little details like exactly a placement of foot, man. That matters when it comes to these workouts, for real. Lying hamstring curls, we're on to that. Started off with 8 reps at 40 pounds just for a quick warm-up. And then did 20 reps at 65 pounds for the next 2 following sets. So sitting here working on this. This actually targets your hamstrings. So let's get it out the way. Make sure the hammies are taken care of too. When you're doing leg day, try to work everything possible. We definitely hit the calves. We definitely hit the hands. We hit the quads. We did a little bit of everything. You feel me? We even hit the glutes. Yeah, and then you got some secondary muscles that were getting hit from most of the workout. So yeah, kudos. You know, we trying to get right. We trying to get better. We trying to get some progress. We not worried about perfection, but definitely been seeing some good progress, low key. Now we're at 14 minutes on the elliptical. We went for a whole mile this time, yo, with a resistance of 4. So I don't know if you're really following along in the journey and seeing the details, but I promise you, everything has been upgrading slowly but surely over time. And I really do know that I can tell the difference from when I first started at the end of May, or end of March, my fault. End of March when I started, I can tell the difference to now. So I'm super excited. I appreciate everybody following the journey. Again, I hope this helps inspire y'all to do something about your health. You know what I'm saying? In the end of the day, all we got is health. And you know what? No matter what you do in this life, you can go ahead and be the best thing in the world. You know what I'm saying? But once your health is gone from you, it doesn't matter. It's hard to do anything after that without your health. So y'all, you know, do your best to try and get on top of it whenever you can, or just live a carefree life. I ain't here to judge. I ain't here to tell you what to do. But if you want to be around long, you know, start focusing on the health soon. That's all. All right, y'all. What you can definitely do to help your boy out, you know, like, comment, share, subscribe, all the goodness. You know, if there's any workouts y'all know that can help out, you know, with certain things like building your quads better or this or that, drop that in the comment. I love all the help y'all be sending all the time. The tips been wonderful. But, you know, I want to say thanks again for watching. Y'all have been great. Y'all know what it is. It's Tycoon. I'm your boy, and this is how we get it cracking. But wait, I also wanted to let y'all in on one little thing. I started hitting the steam room, baby. 15 to 20 minutes, if you can handle it, is definitely something beneficial. There's some good reasons. Y'all need to go check them out. But this is the end. It's not the end of the series. Y'all know what time it is. Make sure y'all stay strong and healthy, and be patient with yourself. Lego.